It's almost nightfall. Every evening, starving kids go out to get dinner. Climate change has devastated this place. Now there's only one food in sight: cactus. For the children, wild and prickly cactus fruit. Basically no nutrition. When there's no fruit, they turn to the raw cactus itself. And for the most desperate, chalky ash mixed with water. So where does our next president stand on climate change?
I'm not a big believer in man-made climate change. There could be some impact, but I don't believe it's devastating.
It'll get cooler, it'll get warmer. It's called weather.
We're going to cancel the Paris Climate Agreement.
Nobody really knows. Look, I'm somebody that gets it. And nobody really knows. It's not something that's so hard and fast.
I'm Nicholas Kristof in southern Madagascar. President-elect Trump may be in denial about climate change, so I came to see its impact for myself. I've seen hunger all around the world. In some countries, it's because of government corruption. In others, warlords. But here, where it hasn't rained properly in years, the ultimate culprit is climate change. And the West's myopia and passivity about climate are destroying lives across a belt of drought-afflicted southern Africa. A generation ago, this land was lush. Crops, flowers, forests. Now, due to a combination of El Nino and climate change, it's a desert wasteland. This drought in 7 countries hasn't received much attention. Comment ça va? But according to the UN, it's left 1.3 million children malnourished. Severely acutely malnourished. By a huge margin, severely acutely malnourished. Severe acute malnutrition. You see that his arms are like sticks. So what does climate change look like? Major rivers have vanished into puddles. The few wells have dirty water. And the cows, representing the wealth of villagers, their bank accounts for emergencies, are being sold off because they too are starving. For people like Hondrana, there's no debate. Do you believe the climate here is changing? Hondrana has 6 grandchildren. All of them are malnourished. None has ever had a bath. She's 76 and says this drought is unprecedented. Here's the paradox of climate change. It's mainly caused by affluent people like us. And those who suffer the most are the poor and vulnerable. Have you ever heard the name Donald Trump? I believe actually you know more than he does about some things because you understand that climate change is happening. Hondrana is one of the lucky ones. In another village, I met Fokandraza and his brother, Voriavi. A year ago, their parents left to find food and jobs. Call them climate orphans. Have you eaten today? Have you drunk water today? They now live with their aunt, Fideline. But she can hardly afford to feed her own kids. With severe acute malnutrition, these boys are at risk of dying. Voriavi can't stay awake during our interview. But I don't blame the aunt. The situation is more my fault than hers. Slowly, the social fabric is being pulled apart. There are millions of kids just like Fokandraza and Voriavi. Their trauma runs deep. It'll carry over and impede growth for generations to come. At most schools, kids are dropping out to scrounge for food. But before I left, I stumbled upon a bit of hope. This small school. Enrollment has soared by more than 50% in 1 year. But why are kids going to school? To eat. The World Food Program offers free meals. I've seen these school feeding programs all over the world. And at 25 cents per day per child, they fight starvation and keep kids in school.
Ary tsy afaka hanapatapaka reka satria misy kantiny scolaire sakafany eo. Ny toetsainy zaza lasa mahiratsy.
But it's a temporary fix. Real systemic change means investing in climate and putting a price on carbon. Let's not forget, these problems are caused by your car and mine. Donald Trump can pretend that climate change is still up for debate. But as long as we defer action, kids in places like this will continue to starve and die.